Happy Macabre Mondays, creeps! Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. This episode is near and dear to my heart because it's a location in my neighborhood that is closed down and has been closed down for a while, and it's kind of up in the air what's going to happen to it, but it's important that we save it, it's important that we talk about its history, and it's important that I talk about this wine that I am holding because I am obsessed with it. It is delicious. It is Apothic Dark, and honestly, I love Halloween time, obviously, but I really love it because so many great wines come out with dark themes. And just really quickly, let me read you the back of this bottle. It says, "There's romance in darkness." Oh yes, there is. "It draws our curiosity." Oh, don't you know it? Also, beckons a desire to taste the unknown. Well, if a true statement was never spoken, I don't know what was. I don't know if that makes any sense. I got like my horoscope shirt on with like the giant eye. I mean, we're got my malachite on. We're just rolling down this river, guys. Anyways, grab your wine. Yes, I'm wearing green lipstick, and let's go to the Rialto. The Rialto Theater is a beautiful theater of the past. It was designed by Louis A. Smith, who is like this really flamboyant guy from Ohio. He was a widower, and he designed in total 40 different theaters around LA, which is pretty amazing, mainly working for the West Coast Fox Theater section. And he had a very interesting style. He did the Vista Theater down in Silver Lake, which is amazing. It's still open. It's where I see all my movies because I love to be in an Egyptian setting seeing a movie that's cheaper than everywhere else. So if you haven't gone there, go there for sure. Anyways, the Rialto Theater, it was built in 1925 for like a grand total of $100 grand, which I guess, you know, is a lot for the time, but whatever. It opened on October 17th, 1925. And it was a big deal. Like, they brought in big movie lights from the studios. Celebrities were there. They had 5 vaudeville acts and a film. They showed the premiere of Universal's Whatever Happened to Jones, which is a silent film. And what makes the Rialto so incredibly special, besides the fact that it's like a mixture of Baroque and Moorish and Egyptian and East Indian interior and design, is the fact that it's a multi-functioning theater. Like, it has a full backstage, it had 10 dressing rooms, a green room, an orchestra pit, a freaking organ loft, the Wurlitzer organ, had a balcony, had just, you know, obviously could screen films. It was unbelievable. And so 5 vaudeville acts performed. There was a freaking aerial trapeze act that happened. It was a big deal. It was a fancy place. People called South Pasadena back in the day like the Disneyland of its time. I guess there was like an ostrich farm or something out here, which, I mean, I guess I love ostriches. That makes it a good time. Big deal. This place was a big deal. And then when talkies came out, guys, they got both of the dueling sound systems because it's like, well, we're going to play whatever we want to play. So they showed everything because they had all the systems. They were like hosting, you could see like vaudeville acts and a movie for like 75 cents. But then unfortunately, 1938 came around and there was a fire in the backstage area and it closed down for, I think it was like dark for 2 years. Maybe it was 3 years. I think it reopened in 41, but there was never any live performances or vaudeville performances there again, which is sad. And my great-grandparents were part of vaudeville. The Molino K. Molino act traveled all over the globe. I do not know if they performed at the Rialto. I'm going to go ahead and say it they did because I want them to have. But so they were probably just super disappointed. My grandparents were like, oh my God, like we can't perform there anymore. It was such a great location. I don't know if anybody died in the fire. I can't find any information on the fire. I went through reels and reels of microfiche and I couldn't find what started the fire. Anyways, theater lived on. There was people that still performed organ concerts. Obviously, films were there. The Depression hit. The Depression was rough, but the theater was still thriving. And to boost morale of all of the tenants, this is pretty great. They would have like bank night and you could win $1. So get excited about them. Nowadays, you can get like 2 tacos from Jack in the Box for $1. And also, you can win some Depression glassware, which I'm assuming was probably like Tupperware for the time. But one of my favorite things ever was in 1929, before the fire, the great magician and man of mystery, Ollie Din, if that's how you say his name, performed at the Rialto and did a Bombay seance for ladies only. What did that consist of? I don't know. Probably some spooky stuff. Probably some lady wooing, if you know what I mean. And then for his final stunt, because he did this all over the globe, he drove to Highland Park blindfolded. So basically he was the original Criss Angel, because Criss Angel did that. And apparently he was a big deal. If I say apparently one more time, and apparently everyone's like, oh my god, remember that one time when Ollie Din was at the Rialto? Apparently. Really? Really? Okay. It's a huge deal. But, you know what? There was another fire in '69, and it damaged the organ loft. And there's conflicting stories. One person says that the organ was saved and sold, but more stories say that the organ suffered too much water damage, because from what it sounds like is the firefighters directed the hose directly at the organ and ruined it. Who do you want to believe? I don't know. But then theater just kept going downhill, man. It had all this damage, but they still played Rocky Horror Show at midnight, like once a month, forever. And then in 2009, after a big rainfall, there was a part of the facade that fell on the sidewalk, and the city was like, no, this place is way too unsafe. We gotta close it down. But it's a historical landmark, so they can't actually tear it down, and it's still standing, but now it's standing and it's all closed down. It's like covered in chicken wire, even though it's a beautiful thing. There's talks of Quentin Tarantino wanting to buy it, which would be great. Tarantino, if you're watching this, go ahead and buy the Rialto. Open it up so we can enjoy the splendor of the age. Now it's time to talk about death. So oftentimes when people refer to the Rialto, they refer to it as South Pasadena's haunted Rialto. And I was like, ooh, where's the stories there? Well, I couldn't find any actual deaths on premises, like confirmed. But enough investigations have happened, enough sightings have happened, enough hearsay has happened for me to feel comfortable about telling you guys the story of the dead girl. I don't know why I called her that, just rolled off the tip of my tongue. Story goes, a girl slit her wrists in the bathroom, the ladies' room. And she, while bleeding out, pondering life, oh, it's ending, it's ending, it's ending, crawled up into the loft and bled out in the seats. It's probably true. I would like to think that it's true. I don't even know what decade that supposedly happened, but apparently she's pissed and she's still there because apparently, like, other theaters like the Catalina freaking casino, the women's bathroom's haunted. And the stalls would ferociously shake so bad the hinges almost came off. And I'm just sitting here like, why? Why are all the women's public restrooms haunted? I'm terrified to pee anywhere at this point. And then apparently a guy went crazy in the projector booth. I don't know what happened. Honestly, this is my theory. I can only assume that the technology at the time was very frustrating. I feel like projectors are big and heavy and clunky, but also amazing because film is great. Honestly, I'm sorry, digital, but you'll never look like film. Let's be honest. That's a whole other conversation. But anyways, apparently he went nuts. In my mind, he's bouncing off the walls like a Robin Williams character. That's not confirmed. That's not written anywhere. That's my image of this man that went crazy in the projector booth. And also, apparently, there's an old man that haunts it is not a hotel. It's a theater. I'm sorry. Haunts the theater and just keeps bouncing from seat to seat. So in my mind, what I think is happening is he'll sit down. This phantom man will sit down on a chair, and in his mind, a person sits in front of him, and he's just constantly playing a game of chess of trying to get a good view of the stage or the screen. Because, I'm sorry, in your life, do you also go to a movie theater? It could be empty, doesn't matter. And then one person comes in, sits down right in front of you because there isn't an entire theater for you to choose from. They have to sit damn straight in front of you. They either got a hat or a bun on their head. Honestly, it's never like a small person. You're never getting a small person sitting in front of you. It's always a freaking giant with a bun and a turban with a top hat on top, and then Abraham Lincoln's hat on top, and then probably a witch hat. Here's an idea. Let's just buy the Rialto Theater and we can party in it. It'll be the Macabre Mondays party house at the Rialto Theater. Come on over to Pass Out Pass and let's jam out. We'll have bands. We'll have food. We'll have a wine bar. Closing thoughts on the Rialto. Again, I've been saying it in every episode. It's a freaking part of history, guys. It's beautiful. It's not being torn down, but it's sitting there and it's not being used. There is a Friends of the Rialto Facebook group. There's things you can sign, you can donate to save this beautiful theater. It is really a part of history. It's gorgeous. The pictures I've seen inside, I mean, it needs a lot of work, but it's amazing. I mean, would you rather... I mean, this theater has gone through so many different hands. It was with Fox, and then it was with Mann's Theaters, and then it was with Landmark, and now it's kind of just, it's owned by a family. It's owned it since the 30s, and they're not doing anything with it. They're not stepping up to the plate. But would you rather sit in a sterile box of nothing or sit in a theater truly meant for entertainment? This place was, you know how many people, like, there's love in that place. Versus these sterile little boxes that you go to, there's gum stuck everywhere. I'd rather sit in history. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather sit in history. So go see it, go support it, go to the links down below, and you know, let's bring back, let's get on soapboxes and save a theater. That sounds great. Like, what did you do this Monday? I saved a theater. I'm sorry. What did you do? As always, everybody, I really hope you enjoyed the show. Please subscribe down below to the side, to the diagonal, which way the button has moved. Please share it with fellow creeps. Get yourself some of this Apothic Dark. It's fantastic. Take a trip out to South Pass, see the Rialto Theater, or, you know, just in the name of all theater, go see a film this weekend. Go to the Vista. It's still operating. Support Louis A. Smith, the great theater designer of LA. That's a big statement, but I went ahead and made it. And use hashtag Macabre Mondays when you talk about the show. Thanks, guys. Bye. Where's Quentin Tarantino when you need him? He'd totally jump on board in this idea. This is genius. The Macabre Monday, Rialto Theater. Hey, yeah. See you there. Bye-bye now. I'm really going now. I'm really, honestly, I'm sorry. Bye-bye.